Hello everyone, welcome to Dear Love Talk, the part of this program that dedicates time to answering all your questions on anything to do with your relationships.
Yes, and if you want to send us your questions, all you need to do is to email us on questions@lovetalkshow.tv or get in touch via Facebook, Instagram or Twitter.
That's right.
And
now, you may have noticed there's something different on the table today. We have a buzzer here, and why do we have this buzzer? If you've been watching this program for a while, you know that Helena sometimes gets quite excited about some of the questions we have.
Do you think so?
Yes, absolutely. So what we're going to do from now on is when Helena is getting into that mode of getting excited, we are going to do exactly this. And then you know that there's a different side to Helena that's coming out.
And not only my side, but your side.
It's mainly you.
No, let's say that this buzz here, okay, is for when you get those questions that sound like a joke but are actually real.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, is this really
a
happening?
Real question.
So
when that happens, we'll press the button. Now let's go for the first question. Hi guys, I go to college and although my friends all have boyfriends, no matter how much I try, I don't seem to fall in love with anyone. There is this guy who is interested in me for a while, but I don't think, or I don't like him. Is there something wrong with me? Well, you sound like you're quite young because you're at college, even though you can go to college even if you're later in life. But the fact that you haven't yet fallen in love with someone, there's nothing wrong with you. And you can't say, I'm going to try to fall in love with someone. It's a natural process. You don't choose, let me choose that person so I can love them. The fact that your friends are in relationships and supposedly love their partners, and I'm saying love because love is complex. Sometimes you really like someone and you think that's love and you end up finding out it's not love. So don't think you have to be like everybody else. Take your time. From what I understand, you're young, like I said. Take your time because, it will be a natural process and it will happen in due time.
yes, as my husband said, there's nothing wrong with you.
You're not broken?
No, take your time. Maybe the reason why she sent us this question is because, I don't know if I'm wrong or right, you tell me, maybe you're feeling the pressure, everyone is dating and you also want to fit in or have something to talk about when it comes to boys and relationships. And I think you need to be careful with that because there is a time for everything. And I am a strong believer, and I'm going to sound really old-fashioned here. Imagine if I had children, the education would be very different. Because I think that when you are at college, at school, you are there to study. And of course, it's no problem. There's no problem in you having a boyfriend or girlfriend.
Or a relationship developing.
Yeah, but I think it's a bit of a distraction, especially in your situation where you say that, oh, is anything wrong with me? You are starting to overanalyze your situation. And I think this is due to peer pressure maybe.
That's
okay,
right.
So I think you should enjoy and embrace that time of your life that will never come back. I don't know how old you are. Let's say that you are 17, for example. You will never be 17 again. You will never have the same opportunities again that you're having now. So I think it's a time for you to focus.
Absolutely. So don't worry. Like I said, you're not broken. You're fine. And at the right time, you will find someone that will be right for you. Okay?
Yes.
So don't feel under pressure to do that. Let's go for our next question.
Yes, it's for me. It's from Esther Lake. And she says, Hi Helena, I have been married for 8 years and my husband has lost all interest in me. Our intimacy has gone down and doesn't seem to want, it doesn't seem to want me no matter what I try to do. I love my husband and I don't want to lose my marriage. I don't know what to do anymore. Okay, there's something going on, obviously. First thing I would say is this, okay, not only to you but to anyone who is watching us now, is that you can come and sit down with us and have a private talk with me and my husband and receive some advice when it comes to marriage and relationships. I want people at home to remember that. They can book an appointment.
In fact, let me just interject here and say we started now in January this special counseling session for couples, right? And if you want to be part of that, please do get in touch. We'll make sure we'll find time to see you. And all this is free of charge, of course.
Exactly. And this is one of the cases that we often get. You know, it's something that, of course, I'm not going to give you all the advice here on TV, but I would, because I would have a lot of questions. We need to know what the situation really is and what happened prior to him starting losing interest in you. There is something going on, and you need to see. You need perhaps, I think one of the main things, or one of the first things you should do, is to sit down with him, but not in a way like, oh, we need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's make or break time.
Yes,
it's not the way to go about it.
Because when you use the words "we need to talk," you're already implying or sounding like there's a problem.
And people switch off.
They do, and they become very defensive. Mm-hmm. Pardon me, or they start lying, whatever. They don't like that. We need to talk. So choose a relaxed time. As always, we say that a lot. Choose the right time. And tell him how you feel and what you've been seeing. Maybe he has an explanation. If not, you need to be really, really honest.
But also, let's just say as well that, you know, if this wasn't a problem before, if your husband enjoyed being with you and loved being around you and had a lot of interest in being intimate with you, for example, now this stopped for some reason, then, you know, try to look back and see where it changed. Usually you can always solve a problem by going back to where the problem started and finding out what changed at that time. So was it that, for example, maybe you changed? Maybe he stopped having an interest in you because you changed as a person. Maybe you stopped investing in looking after yourself.
Or maybe she started saying no too many times.
That's right. So we don't know. I think you need to trace back your steps and go back to that point where things have changed. Maybe ask him, like Helena said, in a very informal way, and say, look, what is it that I've done? Did I do something? Now, failing that, if you see that you haven't changed, if you see that there wasn't anything that you did differently, then maybe there is something that has changed on his side. And ask him openly, you know, for him to tell you what it is, and hopefully, if there is a serious problem there, you can resolve it. But usually, you can always solve a problem by going to where that problem started and seeing what changed at that point. So that's our advice for you.
Yes, and just to remind you also that we, at some point when people come to talk to us, we encourage both of them to come and sit down with us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, you may have noticed that our table today is moving a little bit.
I told you there's something going on with this table. We need to talk.
No problem. It's to make sure that you're keeping focused on us, right? Final question. This is a question from Facebook, and it says, "Hello, both. I'm engaged to be married, and I get on really well with my partner, and we have a great relationship. The problem we are having is that both our parents don't agree that we are moving quite far to where they live once we get married. We have tried to explain to them that we will still see them, but this is causing more and more friction in our family." Let's just say that...
Should we call the buzzer? No, not the
Not
buzzer.
yet. I think I'm actually quite upset we're not using the buzzer today. We have the buzzer.
This question, we could use the buzzer.
I don't think so.
On the family.
Let me tell you why.
Family.
Let me tell you why not. You know, it's a natural thing for parents to feel like they're losing their children when they get married. We know they're not losing you, but you're getting married, you're moving out of the house, if you haven't moved out yet. You know, they'll miss you. You're possibly buying your own property, and you know, maybe you're not moving hundreds of miles away, but you are a little bit far. So I think it takes a while for a family to get used to that idea that you're not going to be around as much as before, that you're probably only going to come over on the weekends, and that's fine. And I think the only thing, number one, realize that this sort of friction comes from a good place. It's because they love you, they want to be with you. And I think the solution to this is you reassuring them that, look, the time has come for you to fly your parents' nest, you're building your own nest, but you'll still be there, part of their lives. Trust me, when you have children, if you do choose to have children, they're going to see a lot more of you than maybe they would like, because you're going to need their help to look after your child, perhaps, right? That's a normal cycle of children and parents. So just reassure them, look, we will be here, you will be a part of our lives, And once they understand that, it may take the practical side of them seeing this happening for them to really believe that this will be the case, but reassure them. I believe that this friction comes from a good place of them wanting to be with you and loving you.
Yeah, I believe too. It's always for a good cause and always with good intention. It's always good, the intention of people. But for example, I was watching the other day a very successful TV show where you decide to move abroad or not. And I was thinking, what would I do if I were in their situation? Because they, back in that country where they went, I don't think I can mention the name of the program, the lady and the husband, they got offered a job. The salary was twice as much as in the UK, so they would live a very, very comfortable life and everything, and that's why they wanted to move. But when they get to watch the videos of the family members before they decide, although they know that the family needs to move for financial reasons because they can't cope and help their kids being brought up in that situation, because they had quite a few children, they still say, crying, "Oh, please don't go." I mean, it is a natural thing. It is emotional, but this is a message to the family members out there. Sometimes you have to not put that pressure on the family, because it's already hard for them as well to move. But you know, they've got to move because it's better for them.
It's like the song, right? That song from, I think it's Frozen, isn't it? That says, "Let it go, let it go."
Wow.
So let them go. You have to let them go.
We can't be selfish.
And support them. But like we said, we know that this comes from a good place.
I know, but
sometimes
we've got to understand every single one. We need to understand everyone around us and not just cling to our feelings.
That's
because
right.
it doesn't help.
So sometimes it's better to learn to cut the umbilical cord and be there to support your family.
And you can always visit.
Absolutely. Okay, we hope this helped, and we'll continue with more questions being answered on next week's program. Get in touch with us, questions@lovetalkshow.tv or through our Facebook page.